I caught my coworker stealing my work, so I created a fake project that ended her career. Rachel had been stealing my ideas for 6 months, small things at first. A marketing concept here, a client presentation there. She'd present my work in meetings while I sat there speechless, watching her get praised for my creativity. My boss loved her. Rachel was charming, confident, everything I wasn't. She'd flash her perfect smile and take credit for campaigns I'd spent weeks developing. When I tried to speak up, she'd interrupt with some modification that made it sound like a collaboration. The final straw came during our biggest client pitch of the year. I'd worked overtime for 3 weeks creating a comprehensive social media strategy for Davidson Hotels. Charts, mock-ups, budget, projections, everything. The morning of the presentation, I arrived to find Rachel already in the conference room setting up my slides. She'd removed my name from every page and replaced it with hers. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Oh, I made some improvements to our presentation," she said smoothly. "Don't worry, I'll mention you helped with research." Research, 3 weeks of creative work reduced to research assistance. I watched her present my strategy to the client. She fielded every question perfectly because she'd memorized my notes. The client loved it. My boss beamed with pride. Rachel got a promotion that afternoon. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to report her or complain to HR. I was going to prove she was a fraud in a way no one could deny. I started working on a fake project, something big enough to grab Rachel's attention, but complex enough to expose her incompetence. I called it the Morrison Campaign for a fictional luxury car brand. I spent 2 weeks creating elaborate fake research, market analysis, and creative concepts, but I deliberately included glaring errors that only someone who truly understood marketing would catch: budget miscalculations, demographic mistakes, timeline impossibilities. Then I left the folder on my desk where Rachel would see it. I also sent myself emails about the confidential Morrison project that I knew she'd notice on my computer screen. The bay worked perfectly one days. I caught her photographing my fake documents when she thought I was at lunch. She'd taken pictures of everything, including the deliberately planted errors. 2 weeks later, our department head announced a surprise presentation opportunity. Morrison Motors was considering our agency for their new campaign, and they wanted to see our best ideas. Rachel volunteered immediately. She spent the weekend putting together a presentation based on my fake research. She was so confident, so eager to shine again. Monday morning arrived. The Morrison Motors executives joined our meeting by a video call. Rachel launched into her presentation with her usual charm. Then the questions started. "Your budget seems miscalculated by about 40%, the client noted. Rachel fumbled, trying to explain numbers that didn't make sense. "And you've targeted demographics that don't align with luxury car buyers," another executive added. Her confidence cracked. She started sweating, stumbling over explanations for research she'd never actually done. "This timeline is impossible," the lead executive said flatly. "You are proposing a 6-month campaign launch in 3 weeks." The room fell silent. Rachel's face went pale as she realized every element of her presentation was falling apart. Our department head looked mortified. The client ended the call abruptly. After the meeting, I was called into my boss's office. I expected to be questioned, but instead he handed me Rachel's promotion. "We need someone who actually creates the work, not just presents it," he said. Rachel was transferred to a different department the next week. Word spread quickly about the Morrison disaster. Her reputation never recovered. I felt vindicated watching her lose everything she'd built on stolen work, but the real satisfaction came from finally being recognized for my actual talents. Sometimes the best revenge is simply letting someone destroy themselves with their own lies.